Obviously, you had the vast majority of that game with the man advantage. How frustrating is it to know that you have the opportunity to find that game winner and then being unable to find it over that long stretch of time with the man advantage?
I think you got to give credit to the Red Bulls team. Young team, they kind of just went for it. I mean, most teams don't do that whenever they're a man down, so credit due to them. Their coaches made a few changes, and for us, we're just on the brim. The final moments of the game, you get that bike, you get the headers on frame, possibly a PK. It can be frustrating, but Gary was positive after, which is nice to kind of send the message to the boys for the last 3 games coming in, and then I think we just keep going, keep moving in a positive direction. First game, Tucker hasn't scored in, he's scored the last 3 or 4 games, so it's the first game he hasn't. And, he's in positive form. Papa's getting positive opportunities, so I think we, as always, take the positives and keep moving forward. I mean, it can't be, taking steps back right now. We're getting good form right in time for the playoffs, and we just got to keep moving forward.
With the number of opportunities you guys create, does it feel like there's a breakout game where a lot of those start going in, kind of on the verge?
Maybe. I think a lot of. I don't want to say to get carried away. There's a lot of discipline, actions in the game. With our back line, our midfield, and our forwards. We take pride in our defense, not getting goals scored on us, and it was frustrating that they scored the goal they did. But I think we stick to what's been working for us, and then just keep building from there.
It seems like in the last 20 minutes, the team actually got together the way that you wanted, not that you didn't try before. How could you explain the situation of that? Is that they actually gave up a little bit, or how does it happen?
It could be all sorts of things, right? They had 10 guys, they were chasing the game a lot, and even for a young team, that could be very tiring. But I know Pickens and I were yelling at guys trying to organize. Coach made a few subs, but Chris Tierpak was a positive vibe going forward. I'm not entirely sure what the answer is. I'd have to look at the game, but from the feel of being on the field, it was, I think guys just kind of took it upon them to chase it, to say, let's go for it, let's get the win, and kind of snapped out of what we started the second half with. They came at us hard. I don't think we were ready for it. I think we were kind of expecting to have a bit more ball possession, but the last 20 minutes, I think we just started grinding it, started going for it, and started defending properly again. I think the beginning of the second half, they were playing much better than they were in the first, and we had to readjust, and I think the boys did well with it.
You're the kind of player that enjoys a victory more than a goal.
Yeah.
But today was a very special goal for you, not only because of it was, but because of the time of the game that it came about. Yeah. How do you feel at the time?
It was kind of funny because when it happened, we've kind of talked about who takes it, and in that area, we were discussing, does Liam kind of whip it across, does Taylor, and they said, no, you do it. My goal was just to get it on frame. It's like, don't hit it out of bounds, don't hit the wall, just get it on frame. And so whenever I hit it, not that I was shocked, I was just like, it was a clean hit. I was excited that it was a clean hit. It went in, and then I was like, oh crap, they scored. It was weird. It was a little weird, but totally excited about it, of course.
From a personal perspective, was it a relief to finally see one hit the back of the net?
Yeah, it was. If I look over my previous years, I've had more goals earlier on in the season, but my role has changed, and with the team and what I've been asked, I'm happy to play my role. So to get a goal is, I'm very grateful and appreciative of the team. We got the set piece there because other guys drew the foul, and they trust me to take it and do something well with it. And so I'm just happy that I could perform for the team.
That 12-minute stretch between the penalty attempt for New York and then your free kick, such a wide swing from very likely going down 2-0 to drawing level and knowing you've got a man advantage for the next, when there are swings like that big in a game, what does that feel like for you?
It's big momentum. PKs are stressful for both sides. The guy taking it, I can only imagine that was in his head for the rest of the game. Feel bad for him. At the same time, I don't feel bad for him. But Pickens came up huge. And to see the general, the guy that's leading the charge from behind, to make that save, everyone reacted. You see JD, he just hopped on it. But to have reliability for the guys behind you brings a lot of confidence and a lot of, emotion to the game. So after that happened, I think guys really started to rise. And it's silly, but we shouldn't have things like that happen to us in order to rise to the next level and be the better team. And I don't think that was the case. I just think we needed something to snap us, and that happened. And you just see guys just started attacking. Alan Wynn started taking guys one-on-one. Ish was taking guys where Papa, and we need those guys to constantly do that. And strange how PKs can change the tide of the game, but it happens all the time in professional soccer. And yeah, I think it happened tonight, which was nice.
What is your message to the team, or what is the team's mindset going into these final 3 games where you probably need at least a couple results to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of math going on with the playoffs, and that's scary times, especially with the other teams we're playing. And there's this idea that the teams we're playing are below us in terms of the standings, but those are teams that are hard to play against. Toronto is young. They have a guy that scored 3 goals against Cincinnati, and that should speak for itself. So, I mean, we just have to bring our A game to every single game, be the best we can possibly be, and realize obviously we know we have to take points, but if we look back at Atlanta, that was a hard team to play. And as much as you want to say they're, below us, they had some MLS boys that came and really brought some pressure. So it shows maturity from our boys to take each game and learn from them, as well as adjust. And I think that's going to be the hardest task for our boys, is to adjust in the proper manner and show maturity, as we've kind of struggled with throughout the year. So we play Richmond, who away for us can be a challenge, but I think the boys are ready for that. And then Toronto, we have some revenge that we have to achieve with that one. And then Cincinnati, how can you not be ready for Cincinnati? So we have a lot to prove, not only to the league, but to ourselves, and show some maturity, hopefully, and get some goals as well as shutouts.
Michael, would you be the player speaking after at the press conference after the first playoff game?
Say that again?
Will you be the first player speaking at the press conference after the first playoff game?
Let's hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I think more often than not, when we see a penalty not be scored, it is missed. Obviously, that was not the case with the one tonight. What did you? Yeah. What did you see? What did you see that allowed you to make that save, which is obviously kind of a rarity?
Just do my homework. Try to do things that are gonna offset him, and try to actually let him play in my hands instead of me playing in his hands. Other than that, I can't give you much else. So.
But did the save actually make difference about what happened to the rest of the game, you think?
I don't know. Maybe. We're losing 1-0 at the time. I guess if it goes in, it's 2-0. We go down and we score and we get a red card. So we got a point out of the game because of it. But other than that, don't know if it changed too much. But it's my opinion. But the games can go anyway after that, just depends what you do with it. There are moments in games. So.
We always see you like directing traffic, so to speak, there
Yeah.
Every game. But they seem to me at least, that it was a little more of you doing that tonight for some reason.
Yeah, it's a big part of the season right now. So coming down the wire in a playoff push here, so there's got to be a little bit more urgency. There's got to be a little bit more focus from the guys. There's got to be a little bit more push, and it's my job to do it. So.
What was your perspective on the goal that New York scored?
Bad goal, very, very bad goal. I think when you look back at it, I think Justin defends well, and I think he takes a touch and thinks he has a little bit of time. His touch kind of got away from him, and then the guy kind of goes off Kosuke's right shoulder, and then he just comes and wins the ball and just passes it to the guy. So it was actually a very poor goal to give up.
From your perspective, obviously that's a tough one for you to save there. How do you personally recover from that, and then how do you help the defense kind of recover and say it's not going to happen
There's a lot of
again?
game left. There's a lot of game left, and sometimes there needs to be a little poker, and that's my job to do that. And just try to get on these guys, let them know the game started. Maybe we're playing a little bit at a higher pace now. These guys are little kids, and they run around a lot. No disrespect, I call them kids just because of my age, but they're young, good football players, and they attack the game, and that's just what they do. And we need to be up for that. We need to be ready for it, which we should have been from the start, but unfortunately we weren't. So find a way to turn that around at some point, any way you can. Like you said, a little bit of talk and directing traffic, whatever you want to call it.
You are one of the more experienced guys on the team, as you
Yep.
alluded to your age there. How do you kind of use that experience to lead the team through this final 3-game stretch
Try
that
to
you
do it
need.
in my play, but
results.
also vocally as well.
Mhm.
And all these times are teaching moments for guys as well. So it doesn't just start here and end here at games. We go through video and we talk and we just try to, convey and relate to them our situations, our experiences, and how to deal with moments in a game, especially that first goal. So it's my job to do that. It's Coach K's job to do that. Us older guys or veteran guys, it's our job to do that. That's our role we play in the team.
It seems like the teams played a lot better against the higher up teams
Yeah.
this year. Is that going to be the thing? That's why it gives the Nashville so much opportunity.
I think so, because when it's funny because I always tell Gary I feel like we play at the level of our opponent a lot of the time. So sometimes when we do play lesser opponents or lesser caliber opponents, sometimes we drop down that level and just play at their level as well. And that's one thing I think we need to turn around. If we want to be an elite team, an elite club, we need to stay at a high level every game. And that's young players, it's inexperienced players that sometimes, and it's our job to kind of recognize that and try to turn that around.